I'm in Copenhagen. The marathon is tomorrow, but before the marathon comes the taper. So if you ever wondered what it looks like when a pro marathon runner does their taper and goes slightly, no, very insane, I'm gonna take you through the whole thing. Let's get into it. We are 3 days into the taper, and I'm not even losing my mind yet, says the girl wearing her pajamas when she needs to be out the door ready to run in 18 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty normal. Taper started on Monday, it is now Wednesday, but I haven't really noticed it so far, which I'm really pleased about, because noticing the taper and feeling like I'm hardly doing anything is something that worries me for some reason, because we just get used to the mileage that we're doing, we get used to the training we're doing. So yeah, I did 8 miles on Monday, and then yesterday had a little track session, which was definitely reduced, but it was a lovely day. It was just exciting to go down to Chiavenna with the team, down to Italy. I had 2x2 miles on the track, which was meant to be at marathon pace, but I did have permission to be allowed to pick it up, which I did, and I made it harder for myself than it needed to be. But it was just nice to be on a track and to be not at altitude. I was just swimming in the oxygen and I could run a little bit faster, so that was nice. Track is beautiful. Mountains in the background, so green, lush, warm, which was nice. And then we had some very lovely Italian restaurant food afterwards, which was cheap in comparison to what things cost in Switzerland. And then went for a little dip in the waterfall afterwards, which was cold, but very enjoyable. Wholesome vibes all round. Today, I've got a 45-minute run and a gym session. That's it. And I'm suspecting that gym will be lighter than usual as well. That's definitely reduced from normal. Wednesday would usually be like 10 miles and 5 miles, but probably cover 6.5 maybe today in 45 minutes. The taper has begun. Hold up. Just gotta tell you that I'm very excited to be spilling the tea later on in this video about my training data during this marathon and this taper. So huge shout out to Koros for allowing me to do that and for sponsoring today's video. Back to the action. Just finished a beautiful 10-mile run in Celerina. This is Celerina. Got the beautiful church up there, the beautiful mountains. Everything is just generally beautiful. Legs feeling good. This is the last day of the sun as well, so thought I'd just make the most of it today. Top up the Vit D. Wow, it is absolutely stunning up here though. What a way to enjoy the taper. Had a nice 10-mile run on the plan this morning. Down in Celerina, ran a beautiful loop around there, sun was beating down, and legs are feeling pretty good. And mentally, I'm not finding the taper so far anyway as difficult as I thought I would. I think I'd kind of built it up in my head to be this big scary thing that was going to reduce my training and make me feel like crap and feel really unfit, and it's not been that way at all, especially in the first week. I sat down with Helen on Sunday before starting this taper. We kind of tweaked a few bits. It's definitely a conversation. It's not, you know, this is the plan and that's it. I think that made me feel a lot better about it. And I'm probably going to run sort of 60 to 62-ish miles this week, which, you know, in the grand scheme of things, isn't nothing. I think next week will be more challenging, but also I feel like there's a bit of acceptance in that I need to sort of feel like I'm hardly doing anything in comparison to a normal week. You want your legs to feel fresh and ready to go on race day, so yeah, looking forward to it almost. Penultimate sesh done. I had an hour today, broken up into different paces. So I did 15 minutes nice and easy, just to warm up. Then I did 15 minutes steady, and then 15 minutes hitting marathon pace, and then going a little bit sub-marathon pace, and then 15 easy to round us off. And that's it. I've got 5 miles tomorrow and a long run Sunday, and then we'll be a week away. You know what? Legs are feeling pretty good. The taper is doing its thing, and dare I say I'm actually enjoying it. Who'd have thought? The only thing I suppose that's not feeling great is my hamstrings, which is so random. I feel like that's kind of a taper thing. You get the, people call it maranoia, where all these random pains that may or may not exist come up, which is fine. I mean, they just feel a little bit tight. They feel pretty good generally. And I've got physio today just to do a little human MOT, make sure that we're all good and loosened off for a week on Sunday. All just feels a little bit surreal, to be honest. But a beautiful day for the penultimate session. This loop up in Celerina has been my jam while we've been out here. I've done so many sessions around the little 1.2k loop just over there. I've done them in the wind, I've done them in the snow, I've done them in the sunshine, like today, and this sort of feels like home now, in a weird way. And it's probably one of the most peaceful and stunning loops I've ever had the pleasure of running on. Look at that. Mountains, got a little church with some very nice public toilets at the top, I'll have you know. And now I'm just gonna wait for the girls to finish their cooldown. Love it. Love the grind, especially when the grind is easier than normal. Last long run done. Wow, long run. 13 miles. It's funny because that is, outside of marathon training, 13 miles is actually pretty much my long run. 13, 14. 1 week today, this time 1 week today, 11:31, I'll have like less than half an hour left. Crazy. Just mixing up some eggs. The classic scrambled eggs on toast post long run. Predictable, but delicious. Long run was pretty good. Legs feel okay. And I think a lot of that is psychological because like last week I did 18, the week before that I did 20 miles. I think you get in your head what you're running beforehand and you just know that's the length you're doing. So you break it down kind of accordingly. So when I got 18, I'm like, okay, 10 done, 8 to go. But today, when I'd done 10, I was like, yeah, I'm ready to just do 3 more. But that's the taper. I'm embracing it. It's feeling good. Guys, it is Monday, the 8th of May, which means I'm running the marathon this week. Oh my God. Calm. Preserve that energy. We are excited, but we are calm. I'm really gonna have to work on that this week, I'm not gonna lie, because I am so excited and nervous. And it's a long wait until Sunday. Keeping calm and also shutting down unhelpful nervous thoughts. If they're worrying about things that I can't control or things that could go wrong, there's no point thinking about those things. So I'm gonna focus my energy this week on visualizing the positive outcome that I want to happen, and focusing on the things that I can control and that I can influence, and getting all of my little ducks in a row. Planning, preparing, and being the little Sea Scout that I was trained to be. They didn't know I was a Sea Scout. Yeah. Anyway, it's Monday, and I've got a rest day today, which is quite nice actually. I'm gonna go poodle up to the town of St. Moritz, do a little bit of window shopping because it is too expensive to do actual shopping here.
1 eternity later.
So I definitely didn't just spend the entire morning working at my laptop in my pajamas. Nope, definitely didn't do that. I've decided to venture out of the apartment on this here rest day because I'm going insane. It's not even 1 o'clock yet, and I realised I hadn't left the house, so I got in the shower, got my normal person clothes on. Look at me wearing the jeans. And I have a few errands to run, so I have some postcards that I wrote approximately 3 weeks ago that I'm gonna send, and they'll probably arrive when I get home. And I'm gonna go and buy some bits and bobs from the supermarket and some Swiss goodies to bring home with me at request of people in the UK that want Swiss things. I'm so glad I used my Google Translate app because I nearly bought this cute little square of what I thought was butter because we've run out of butter and we've only got like 3 days left and this would have been perfect. But it's actually yeast. I don't need to spread that on my toast. No thank you. Apparently everything is shut in Switzerland on a Monday. The post office is shut, the bakery is shut. God damn it! Is it Sunday and just no one told me? Just wanted some fresh bread, man. I'll have to come back tomorrow. Parmesan, ketchup. It's nutritious and delicious. It has been a day of rest. And now I'm bored. Well, I'm excited to run tomorrow. Been for a little walk, done a little bit of work, gone to the shops, done basically everything there is else to do in St. Moritz when it's not ski season, other than run. And running is life. So I'm looking forward to running tomorrow because it's my personality at this point. And I just miss her so much. It's Tuesday, which means we got a session. Yeah, it's not really a session, but I've got a 50-minute run today with a 10-minute pickup at the end. Gradual pickup to marathon pace. So probably approximately 3 minutes at marathon pace today. Big
fat taper.
That's what we're doing. And I'm quite excited because I didn't run yesterday and I just love running, guys. I can't wait to get my little legs moving. Prance along around the lake. And I need to get ready actually because it's 9:17. What time am I leaving? 9:30. And I'm in my pajamas. And this is the situation. Let's get ready. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do one of those really cool transitions. Yeah, watch this. Whoa. That was a really sick transition.
It would help if the video was in focus, Phily.
Okay, so before I say anything, look at that. So at this point in time, the absolute idiot that's holding the camera has her thumb over the microphone, so you can't actually hear what I'm saying. What I was saying was that this morning was so perfectly still, zero wind pretty much, that you could see a perfect reflection of the mountain and the skyline on the water, which was very aesthetically pleasing. I was feeling a little bit stiff on this run, post-rest day, and I'd had a massage the day before as well, which can make you feel a little bit stiff the day after. And there was probably a little bit of the pre-marathon paranoia setting in again, widely known as maranoia, which is when loads of random stiffnesses and pains arise with no rhyme or reason, and often aren't really that big of a deal, but they can send you into a bit of a spiral of worry because the big 26.2 is on the way, and thankfully I felt much better as I got into the run. That was good. Got rolling a little bit at the end. The last mile that popped up said 5:36, so fitness. I honestly felt like I was holding my legs back as well, so good place to be. Would happily go for another 4 or 5 miles, but I won't because that would be stupid. Schmovie time! Anyone ever watch Blue Peter when they were younger? My favourite was Connie Huck. They just like put a raw cake in the oven and be like, and then it's cooked.
It's one I made earlier.
Yes, nectar. In other news, I have run out of underwear. quick because my porridge is on. Don't sing in the morning, children. Bye. It is definitely week 2 of the taper. Everything that is classic that can happen in the taper that you don't want to happen has just barraged me today. But it's okay. We are channeling the energy of the things that we can control, the things that we can influence, and making the best of whatever the situation is. So the run this morning was 40 minutes and body didn't feel great. Just a few phantom pains, I'm pretty sure. My hip felt a bit weird and then my right calf felt a bit tight, but all eased off after the first couple of miles. And I guarantee these are just little pains that I probably wouldn't pay much attention to in like peak training, but because it's this week, I'm like a rabbit that's like scared of everything. So I'm squashing those worries. I feel fine. I've been walking around today and going about my usual business and I'm okay. Had a nice afternoon going up to the town to try and have some fun and distract myself. And I bought these cute posters. Went up to the tourist office and they've got loads of nice posters up there for quite affordable for St. Moritz prices as well. 9 chuffs, or francs, we call them chuffs because it's CHF. And then I had a minor meltdown about the drinks situation because I got the information through from the race organisers. Why it has to be so last minute, I don't know, but essentially it wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting drinks stations to be at every 5k, which is pretty predictable for major marathons or big races when they've got elite drink stations, and that's not the case. So we've had to slightly adapt the fueling plan to go as close to that as possible, but we're focusing on the positives. I might be able to get an extra drink or an opportunity for a spare drink if I've missed one, so good, happy days. Nothing else is gonna worry me or annoy me or take me out of my zen state for the rest of the day. And if it does, I'll just take it in my stride. That is the energy that we are channeling. It's probably a good time to focus on the positive things and the things that I can control, and one of those things that is going to be a massive help for me during the race but has already helped me during my build-up is this bad boy. I should really name my watch. Hit me in the comments section with suggestions of what I should call my Coros Pace 2, which is my trusty wrist-based companion that is going to be there to support me through the race. And you can tell that I have hardly taken it off while I've been out here because I've got a nice, it doesn't even look that strong on camera, but it is. I've got quite a tan line there because this dude doesn't leave my wrist, and Coros have kindly sponsored today's video. So I'm gonna tell you why this watch is making me feel better during my taper, because it gives me some pretty neat data. So let's take a look. What I'm looking at on here right now is my training status. That's over the past 12 weeks, and what that looks like is essentially the marathon block. On the app and on the Coros Hub, it's taking into account all of the metrics, the resting heart rate while you're wearing the watch, the activities that you put in, your heart rate during those activities, your performance, and spits out loads of data. You can absolutely chow down on this. I'm gonna focus on what's important to me today. 100% recovered, guys. Recovery 100%. Actually, it's pointing to the word excellent there. So I think that's me and coach absolutely smashing the taper, because that's where you want to be. You've got the 7-day running performance as well, which says I'm at 102%, doing great. Another big tick, thank you. It's making me feel better, you know? If I click on Evo Lab metrics up here, this is my training status over the last 12 weeks, which is effectively the block, the marathon block, if you like. And this little blue line here is what's called base fitness. Now, base fitness is a predictor of your fitness, if you like, which is based on a rolling 42-day average of your training load. So your training load is going to be the intensity, the volume, the heart rate, all of the data that you're putting in, and it spits out what your fitness is going to be based on that. It's really encouraging to see positive feedback from this base fitness metric. You can see it increasing and improving throughout the block, which makes sense because you're building those weeks of intensity on top of each other, obviously implementing recovery in there as well so that it's at the sensible rate. And I wouldn't say that I'm basing my training off this, but it's just nice to see that the data matches up with the plan. It's a little bit of positive reinforcement and encouragement that we're pitching things in the right place. Huge thanks to Coros for sponsoring this week's video and for being the GPS watch of choice that's going to be on my wrist, helping me through the marathon and giving me the feedback that I need. It is absolutely freezing today, and I definitely don't need these sunglasses on. It is cold. I don't know why it's got so arctic all of a sudden, but feels like we descended back into winter. I actually think it's trying to snow. It's raining, but it might be trying to snow, guys. This is nuts. So this morning's a weird one. I'm running on my own, and I'm also home alone because all of my friends have left me. The rest of the team have started their journey home. They're all heading back to Manchester today. A lot of them are racing on Saturday over in Belfast. And I've got one more night. I'm here on my own and then get the train to Zurich tomorrow to fly to Copenhagen. It just feels really strange to be left here. It feels like unsupervised. I don't need supervising, but it just feels really odd to be, all alone. So I've got 5 miles this morning, nice and easy, as usual in the taper, and then I've got to get myself organised, get my shit together for the rest of the day, and pack up, ready to leave tomorrow. Get any last minute bits from the supermarket, do a little bit of washing, try and maintain minimum levels of sanity because it feels like a constant battle between me and me the last couple of days, just fighting the pre-race anxiety and also accepting it a little bit because it is normal. You just gotta try and point yourself in the right direction and think about things and do things that are helpful for Sunday. So that's what I'm gonna do. Wasn't it there to walk it in because we've hit 5 miles, average 7:26, and yeah, it's basically snowing. I hope you can see snow particles. Yeah, mid-May in Switzerland, altitude, yeah, I guess. Snow, yeah, cool, nice. Questioning life choices. Why am I like this? I need to go to bed. It's 10 p.m. and I've just finished packing because I always leave things to the last minute and I'm over ambitious and it's very slightly, doesn't make sense. Ever so slightly stressful, but it's fine. I'm not leaving until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning when I'm leaving here, so I have time. So we have this situation. And I have actually laid out my clothes for the morning. Run, travel, and then this is my suitcase. And it's full. And I still have things to go in it. But it's been a good day. I had a really good call with my sports psychologist this evening. Went through the strategy of the race that I've gone through with my coach earlier in the week in terms of physical strategy, and we've married up the mental strategy with it. I'm feeling really at peace with it, really confident, really comfortable. I know what I want to do and where I want to go to and the mental strategies I'm going to use, which I'll talk about a little bit more in the race video, but I'm now going to bed. Good night. Last run in St. Moritz today, and yes, I'm running around the track because I haven't actually done a session on this track and it's beautiful. So thought I'd just do a lap of it in my easy shakeout this morning. I've done some strides on this bit, but just thought, screw it, I'll do a victory lap before I leave. So that's what we're doing. I'm gonna go for about half an hour, 4 miles this morning, and then once I'm in Copenhagen, I might do a little 10-15 minute shakeout after travel. Depends how late it is. If not, I'll just go for like a brisk walk to get legs feeling just less junky from the travel. But yeah, saying goodbye to St. Moritz this morning. It's kind of sad. Bye everyone. Bye. I'm actually going insane. This is not okay. Last morning! Yeah! Every time I think about where I'm going and what I'm doing today, this weekend, I just get this wave of like energy, excitement, uncontrollable like jitteriness, and it's both good and bad. Nice little last run out this morning around the lake. Got a bit emotional actually. I was just sort of, I put my headphones in because it was a pre-breakfast, early morning for me run, and just sort of like looking at the mountains. I was running around the lake and just thinking, no, I've become quite attached to this place the last month, and I've done a lot here, and this place has done a lot for me. So yeah, it's sort of sad to be leaving. I've felt so comfortable here and so at home, but I'm ready to go, and I know that I'll be back. So a nice sort of happy sad feeling on my run. And I'm just sitting in and amongst my mess. I've pretty much packed, but these are like the last bits that I need to decide where they're gonna go. And in terms of the taper, that's basically it. I'll get the train to Zurich, fly to Copenhagen today, might do a little shakeout this evening if I feel like I need it, just sort of 5-10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe. And then tomorrow, I'll have a 15-minute run on Saturday, and then it's the big dance. So I'll be vlogging the whole thing. Daniel's gonna be out there coming to help me. Make sure you come back to watch the race video and see how it goes. Wish me luck!